Cowboy Nation, this your guy Majestic Sounds. Welcome to the Gridiron Sports Podcast. Another L for the Dallas Cowboys, Cowboy Nation. And at this point, whatever Jerry Jones is saying and talking about to me is obsolete. If you're not talking about making changes, if at this point it is obsolete, you got to be. And then talk is cheap. Even if you're talking about making changes, you got to actually do it. But he says he's fine with Mike McCarthy. He says he believe in the group of guys he got. And honestly, to me, it sounds like he don't want to make a change. But something got to change, because here we are going into the week 10, and we have lost 3 games in a row. And we was good on the road, but now we're lost 2 games on the road. So we're just not good. We're not good. At this point, we're just not good, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. We don't look like a good team. We're not competent. We are incompetent. Our offense is unproductible. No productivity in our offense. And when you get to the point where you got to rely on special teams to score for you, whether it's Brandon Aubrey or Cavante Turpin, when you in dire's need of points and you can't move the ball offensively, you are in bad shape. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. We're not moving the ball offensively. And it starts from the head. It starts from the head, ladies and gentlemen. The front office. And then it goes to the coaching staff. And I already told you how I feel about this, Cowboy Nation. I don't like the play calling. I don't like the sequential part of the play calling. I don't like the formations we're in. I just don't like it. Why are you in shotgun on 3 and 1? You got 1 yard to get. How about a quarterback sneak? How about a fullback run? Why are you not in an I formation? Why are you not on the center? You know, it's just bad decisions that the Cowboys continue to make, and then we're just so sloppy. All these offensive calls, offside, illegal formation, too many men in a huddle, holding, all these kind of calls, too many penalties, just too many. We can't tackle, we can't protect Dak. Thank God we was able to run the ball, and Tyler Guyton ended up getting hurt and sat out for 1 series, and when he was sitting out, we looked better. We got problems with both our rookies in the offensive line, which I mentioned, you guys. We need to just reshuffle the offensive line. Just reshuffle it at this point. Really, just we need to hit the reset button. I just don't see nothing working. I don't see nothing working. Nothing at this point from an offensive perspective is working. Let's not forget that we got X amount of players out on the offense and on the defense, especially defense. So the running game did look better, courtesy of the short passing game. And that's the only bright spot we got. Courtesy of the short passing game, it worked. We were able to run the ball traditionally. It wasn't 150 yards or something like that. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go over here and look and see how many yards we had, rushing yards we had for the whole game. And now Dak is hurt. He got a hamstring problem, and he's going to be out for several weeks. But I do like Cooper Rush. And, you know, we'll just have to see what he can bring to the table. Trey Lance isn't ready. I don't care what some of you fans are saying, Cowboy Nation. That man is not ready yet. Trey Lance is not ready yet. So we're going to roll with Cooper Rush. And Rush, we trust. We just have to lean on Rush. We just got to lean on him. So Dak is out. Don't know to how long. Several weeks is all they're saying right now, and he's looking for a second opinion on how he should treat the hamstring. And that's all we know at the moment. And the Michael Parsons situation with the high ankle sprain, we still got D-Law with the foot, still got Brandon Cooks with the knee. I mean, Deron Bland with his foot. The rookie Carsons came back, but he missed a key tackle. And you can go on and on and on about the injuries and about all the sloppiness and the mental mistakes and the undisciplined actions of the Dallas Cowboys. We're just not ready to play ball. Every game we go into, we're not ready. No game plan, no scheme that actually works. And we had one good design play, but our tight end did not chip. After the ball was hiked, his responsibility was to chip, then run the route. He really didn't chip the guy, the lineman, and he was able to pat the ball down. So, it's the small things that we're not doing, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I mean. When we're not playing discipline. Of course, the penalties. Of course, that's a sign of not being disciplined as well. And missed tackles, that's a sign of not being disciplined as well. So we got all these issues. I mean, you can go on and on and on and on. But there are a few bright spots. Like I said, the defense actually played decent. They actually created some 3-and-outs and got off the field. But the offense couldn't do nothing with the ball. I mean, absolutely nothing. I mean, when you get to the point when you count on your punt returner and your kick returner, which just so happen to be the same guy, and your field goal kicker to create offense for you, woo, you suck. The Dallas Cowboys officially suck now. We all knew it, but to see it in week 9, a winnable game. Now, Atlanta ain't no slop, which I previously stated this on the last episode. They ain't no slop, but it was a winnable game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just being factual. That was a winnable game. 27-21. 27-21. But bad coaching, bad play calling, mental mistakes, can't tackle. Defense finally got a turnover. We get the ball and couldn't do nothing with it. The offense is terrible. Do you hear me? The offense is terrible. You can't score. Red zone offense, terrible. And Rico Dowdle had a good game. That's our bright spot. That's our bright spot, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Jalen Tolbert. He got a touchdown. So Jalen and Rico, that's our bright spots. Talking about hanging your hat on something. That's all we can hang our hat on. And hopefully we can defeat the Eagles, who are struggling right now in week 10. So they barely won. I get it. A win is a win. But they are struggling. And they got our old offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. So they don't close out games good. So you know what he bringing to the table. So we got Cooper Rush that's gonna take over for Dak. I'm actually optimistic about it. Like I said, in Russ we trust. So he's actually don't quote me on this, but I think he's 5-1 as a starter. So hey, he's won more than he lost, and that's all we can go by. And we absolutely know that Trey Lance ain't ready. All them interceptions he was throwing in the preseason. So he's not ready. But he'll be all right in the future. But he ain't ready right now. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about these numbers. I mean, ain't no need for me to stay on here a long time and drag this out. We lost. We lost, ladies and gentlemen. We lost. There's no getting around it. We suck as a team. We suck as a team. We went down there and we got ambushed. And we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot. But it's all start at the head. It goes back to the off season. We didn't make any moves during the off season. Do I really got to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all already know that we didn't make any moves in the off season. We had opportunity to get X amount of players and keep some players. But Jerry Jones decided not to do so. And this is what you get. You get a 3-5 record. Y'all see that right there? 3-5. Look at this. What Atlanta is, they 6-3. There ain't no pushovers. Somebody said you are what your records say you are. And we are a 3-5 team, below 500. We suck. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. And I'm putting it on Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy. That's where the blame mainly belongs. No, Dak ain't playing good. Neither is the offensive lineman, though. But who fault is that? I'm going with Jerry Jones. He made all these executive decisions. So this is what you get. It's a hot mess. Now let's look at this. We're going to look at the team stats. Look at the total yards. Total yards for Dallas, 378. Look at the total yards for Atlanta. One number, 310. But they won. They won. Look at the passing yards, 241. Look at Atlanta passing yards, 210. Rushing yards, we finally got over 120 yards rushing. Finally. Dak finally pulled the ball down and started running instead of throwing interceptions. Stop it. Stop forcing the ball. Shout out to Dak for spreading the ball around. Quit targeting CeeDee Lamb so much. Spread the ball around. Don't force it. If it ain't there, it ain't there. So shout out to Dak Prescott for pulling the ball down and running with it, which adds to our rushing total, and it rounds up to 137, which is good. Finally over 125. Yards per play, 5.1, 5.5. By Atlanta, we got 23 first downs. They got 17 first downs. But here's the problem right here. We got two problems. Two problems. This is what happened when you can't move the ball. We only converted 3 third down conversions. Atlanta converted 4. That one more matters. Fourth down, we were 1 for 5 out of 5 tries. 5 tries. 1 for 5. Atlanta was 100% on fourth down. 1 for 5 on fourth down, and Atlanta 2 for 2. They were 100% on fourth down. We allowed 3 sacks. They only allowed 2 sacks. That's it. Well, there ain't that much difference between 3 and 2. In a game, it matters. It matters. You got to protect your quarterback. You got to protect your quarterback. Just look at it. Look at these penalties. We punt the ball 3 times. They punt the ball 5 times. But look, the reason we ain't punt the ball that much because we were going on fourth down. But we only converted 1 time. 1 time. That means you're not keeping the chains moving. That means you're turning the ball over on downs. 9 penalties for 55 yards. 9 penalties to their 4 penalties for 26. That alone tells the story. You're not disciplined. You're not disciplined. You're not executing. You're not. 3 for 13 is not good execution. That's about 25%. You're struggling on third down. Fourth down. Traditionally, you're supposed to punt. But if you on your side of the field, I can see going for it. Man, look. The play calling sucked. A lot of this is because of the play calling. Yes, it is. I don't care what nobody says. Third down, and you doing a jet sweep, and all you need is 1 yard. You in a shotgun on 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 3. Why? Man, bad play calling. And formationally, it's bad formation. Why in the world I'm in a shotgun on a 3rd and short? This ain't 3rd and long. This 3rd and short. Rico did good. You can't trust Rico or Hunter Luepke to get 2 or 3 yards. Man, that shows a lack of trust in your offense. Man, we got a lot to clean up. Play calling is very important. Sequentially, formationally, it's important. Where's the trust factor? You don't trust your offense to line up in an I formation? To the quarterback to line up on the center? What's going on? Bad play calling, man. Bad. Well, we trying to help out our offensive line. Man, put in the best player that's available on the offensive line. Everything starts and stops with the offensive line. The reason our offense can't move is the offensive line. We got a lot of work to do. And it starts with the head. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Will McClay. We got to make some changes. We going into week 10. And we lose week 10. The season is over. I don't care what you say. The season is over. He ain't coming back from no 3 and 6. I don't see it. Well, we can get the wild card spot. Man, it's too tight. It's too competitive. It's too many teams that's good in the NFC. You don't know how this thing gonna pan out towards the end of the year. So let me cut this off. So Jerry Jones got to make a change. I heard the songwriter said it's time. It's time for a change. We are the people who can do it. Jerry Jones, you are the guy that can make these changes. You, your son, and Will McClay. It's time for a change in Big D. Jerry Jones, fire yourself as DGM. I'm begging and pleading with you at this point. We are losing because of you and the coaching staff. Solely on you. And I get it. Well, we ain't out there on the field. I get it, Cowboy Nation. They ain't out there on the field. Some of the blame belong on the players that can't execute. But my God, when you don't have the right people out there, you can't blame them. You can't put the blame on them. You can't. You ain't got the right offensive line out there. Now, I give the defense some slack. I give them a hall pass because we are injured. We're injured. Injuries. And now our quarterback, starting quarterback, is injured. Second wide receiver, been injured. And they refuse to bring in somebody. They refuse to bring in a pass rusher. They refuse to bring in another wide receiver. They refuse to bring in a running back. Well, keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. You're not going to be in the playoffs. You'll be at home. We'll be at home. We'll be at home on the couch watching everybody else. Because it's time. Time for a change. Cowboy Nation, you may agree and some of you may disagree. But the fact remains that it's time for a change. Now, even though going into week 10, we're going against the Eagles. They are struggling right now. That's our only rainbow hope. They're struggling, and we know their offensive coordinator. We know how he likes to get down. We know his play calling. We know his tendencies, if you will. Outside of that, You got to go out there and execute from an offensive perspective. If you can't get out there and execute offensively, you're going to lose again. And we'll be 3-6. And then once you lose 7 games, it's over. It's over. Then you're going to be on your knees hoping and praying for a wild card spot. And you might not get that because it's too competitive in the NFC. It ain't like last year, although we was 12-5 last year. It ain't like last year where the NFC was down. The NFC is up this year. These teams look competent. These teams look good. Look at Detroit. Look at them. They ain't lost nothing but 1 game. Look at Green Bay. Look how good they've been playing. Look at Minnesota. They won again last night. Look at these teams. Look at the Washington Commanders in our division. Look at the Eagles in our division. They may be struggling, but they got a better record than us. Look at them. Look at Tampa Bay. Look at Atlanta. Look at ATL. Look at these teams in the NFC. And the West, the NFC West, they injured right now. But once they get healthy, they're going to be hard to beat. And we can't beat the 49ers, no way. Whether they healthy or not, we just can't beat them. We can't beat them. We can't beat them. And we knew going into the game, don't turn the ball over. Ladies and gentlemen, we are our own worst enemy. And it starts with the front office. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Will McClay. Somebody told me doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is insanity. We have got to be insane. You got to be insane. Jerry Jones, you see what the problem is, but you haven't made any changes. You haven't made any changes. But I'm going to keep saying what the songwriter said. It's time. Time for a change. We are the people that can do it. Jerry, it's time for a change. Cowboy Nation, it's time for a change. Now, as I get ready to get off, this is the last thing I want to say. If we don't make any changes, we are not, I repeat, we are not making the playoffs. We got to make some changes. And I'm talking about Jerry, Stephen, and Will McClay. Mainly Jerry Jones. We got to make some changes. That's my time, Cowboy Nation. I truly thank you for your time. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to put the thumbs up. In spite of the L, 3 L's, I'm still DC for life. DC for life.